Hello folks, I'm going to title this piece Arguing with Ourselves Because Other People Want Us Arguing with Ourselves. I don't know how relevant it's going to be to you. Maybe it'll be relevant, maybe it won't. I can't say. Maybe you'll figure it out, maybe you won't. Okay? So let's go through some of these arguments first. Alright? Okay, the trans debate. Either everybody has the right to transition or nobody does. Either everybody has the right to identify themselves as what they are, or they don't. How about that's all crap? How about we should be looking at people as what they are and helping them be who they want to be, not deciding who they are. There should not be any right or left wing argument about this. This should be about us looking at people and helping them be what they should be. Nothing more simple or complicated than that. Alright? Nobody should be making those decisions for them based on their political beliefs or their ideological agendas. Nobody should be doing that. Okay? Next thing. Gun rights in America. Do you know what? Removing guns is not a bad thing. But at the same time, you have to remember some people will be offended by that. And you have to temper it. You have to work things gradually. Okay? It's that easy. It's that easy. Okay? Now let's come up with a couple of more recent debates. How about abortion rights? Yeah? Everybody should have abortion rights. Nobody should have abortion rights. It should be state. It should be national. All crap. It should be between a medical professional and the woman. And that medical professional will analyse the situation with that woman in terms of the position she is in her life and how the situation happened. You cannot necessarily always stop a pregnancy. Contraception isn't always 100% sort of effective. So you can't always stop in a pregnancy. So you have to decide. You have to decide. Alright? Temper it. Temper it. See the middle ground. See both sides of the argument. Alright? No woman should have the right to just abort a fetus every 3 months just because she doesn't take responsibility for herself. But at the same time, a woman that gets herself pregnant because contraception has failed or because of one drunken night shouldn't be punished for the rest of her life. As for life being sacred, well, how many chickens did you eat this week? Or pigs? Or parts of chickens or parts of pigs? How many did you eat? Is that life sacred? Then why is that kid? Because you see them differently, that's all. That's the reason they're sacred. Because you see yourself as more important than everything else, and you're not. You're the same as everything else. Maybe you'll figure that out. Alright? Maybe you'll figure that out. Alright? I can't say for sure. I can't say for sure. Alright? But it's time all of you calmed down and stopped arguing. Now, the next thing, racism. Do you know what racism is? It's actually treating somebody like they're less than you because of their race. It's not treating somebody like they deserve more than you because of their race. It's treating somebody like they're less than you because of their race. And most of us aren't racist. There are racists in this world, that's true. Alright? But most of us aren't racist. Okay? Most of us actually just treat everybody as our friend or not our friend. That's it. It's that easy. It's really that easy, but nobody does it. Nobody does it. Everybody has to be stuck on one side of the argument. You have to validate one side of the argument. As if one side of the argument is right. No, the middle ground is right. Keep treating your friends like your friends. Keep treating the people you know like they're worth something to you until they prove they're not. It's that bloody easy. Okay, why ain't you doing that? Why are you not doing that? You have to. Okay? That's how you get rid of all this crap. Okay? You treat each other like human beings. That's what you do. Okay? So what we do? We're arguing. Now let's look at the political debate. Yeah? Left and right. Left wing comes out with certain things that they never sort of uphold. Right wing comes up with certain things that they never uphold. But the argument keeps going between both sides, doesn't it? The argument always keeps going between both sides. Why is there an argument? Why ain't both sides working together? Do you know why? Because there's money in it for them. They need to perpetuate their own careers with what they're doing. And you're all falling for it. Okay? You're all falling for it. You're just letting the same things happen over and over again. Let me ask you something. I'm British, yeah? Last election, Labour got voted out because everybody was dissatisfied with them, yeah? The next election, Conservatives will get voted out because everybody is dissatisfied with them. And who'll get voted in? Labour. Why will Labour get voted in? Do you know why Labour will get voted in? Because you have a two-party system and every one of you has forgotten what disappointed you 4 or 5 years ago. All of you have forgotten that. You're not challenging the politicians to do better. You're saying we'll keep forgetting what you did. Okay? That's what you're saying to them. You're saying we'll keep forgetting. Not we will challenge you. We will make you do better. Do you know how you make them do better? By giving other people the opportunity and making them have to do better. That's what you do. You don't vote for the same two parties all the time. You actually look at something different. That's what you do. Okay? And even if that something different doesn't get in, and sometimes it won't. We saw that with Five Star over in Spain a few years ago. Okay? Even if that something different doesn't get in, it's a wake-up call to the people there that you can do something. You can change things. And you have to do that. Okay? Now let's look at taxation. Here's a fun one. You'll love this. How does taxation work? You pay 20% VAT on a product you buy, yeah? No, you don't. No, you don't. Alright? Because there's 20% VAT on that product, plus the company you buy the product from, adding their profits on, adding their costs on, and the initial price of the item they bought. All those things are added together. Now, think about this in multiple steps. Alright? So you go and buy a washing machine from PC World. Where did they get that washing machine from? Did the person they bought that washing machine from charge them more? Did they? Did they charge them the base price they paid? Or did they charge them the VAT and their profits and their costs and the original price of the item when they purchased it? Of course they did. So it's gone up another step. How many steps do some things go? It's multiple steps. It's not always the same number of steps, which is why some people can allow you better bargains on certain things. But it's always multiple steps and it's always the same process. That's what taxation is. Here's another thing, the royal family. Certain people are telling you, oh, they had 56 million or whatever it was a few years ago, yeah, to refurbish Buckingham Palace from the taxpayer. Did they? Did they? Are you sure about that? Are you sure? Well, here's one for you, okay? Based on what I've just said to you about taxation, how does that work in terms of them paying for every bit of materials and every bit of labour that they had to pay for to get the refurbishment done? How much of that got taxated and on how many different levels? Let's look at that just for a very brief second, because I've basically just said this to you on the last point I made. Okay? I basically just said this to you. Okay, now they spent 56 million. Now, if they spent 1 million for one building contractor, yeah, and say 500,000 of that was materials, how many sort of levels of taxation were those materials placed on before they were billed for them? There you go. And how much of that money went back to the government? You're already starting to see now. Now, as for the labour force, about 35% of what they earned went back to the government. But it's not just 35%, because everything they purchased to live their own lives also got taxed on multiple steps and went back to the government. Do you understand now? Are you starting to see now? Are you starting to see how ridiculous our systems are? And how enslaved we are? And I can say that word because it's all of us. We live from hand to mouth, basically getting given what we need to sustain ourselves to maintain the systems. And that's all we get. That's what we are. Okay? And it's about time you all started figuring that out. And do you know how you change it? I've already told you. You start voting for other people, and that will create one of two situations. Either the people in power, the two natural political parties in your country, will basically turn around and say to you, you have no power, and everybody will have to fight against them. Or it will come down to somebody else coming into power and either becoming a part of that system or helping you change the system. That's the way it's going to work. You've got to see this, all right? You've got to see what you are. You've got to see where you are, okay? We are all controlled and ruled. We might not feel like it all the time because we might have a Friday night down the pub. You know, we might feel like we're okay. Do you know what? We're not. Okay? We're not. We don't have the capacity to improve our lives. We have the capacity to exist because it's allowed, and that's all we're allowed. Are you starting to see that yet? I hope so. Post comments on this video. I will answer as many as I can. Okay? And I'm going to start posting this video everywhere. And by the way, it's not natural light at the moment. Sundown's coming, so I look a little bit. You know what? That's okay. I don't care. I don't care. That's not the important thing. The important thing is what I'm saying to you. Okay? You got to figure it out. Okay? You've got to figure out what you are and where you are. You have no control of what your lives are. And until you take back control, that will never change. It's not other people going to give you back control. You have to take it back. That's how it works. All right? I listen to all these people on left and right wing. I listen to all these arguments. They're all crap. They're all rubbish. They're all just irrelevant. They're all irrelevant. They aren't anything, okay? They aren't anything. The important thing is what we do. We are 8 billion. They are a few thousand. You think everybody they used to empower them wouldn't turn against them if you forced them to change? You don't think those people would turn against them, knowing that their lives were the same as yours? Of course they would. That's what we have to do. We have to get everybody realising where we are and what we are. Okay? And we have to start changing things for ourselves. A, by making the people responsible for where we are, deal with their responsibility for where we are. And B, by being more responsible for ourselves. That's what we have to do now. Okay? I don't care what you think. All right? You have to think yourself. Okay? You don't have to listen to everything I've said. I've given you examples. I've shown you little things. All right? There are so many things to see about where you are. But you have to do it. You have to do it, okay? You have to see what you are and where you are. And if you don't, it will never change. It will never change. You want things to be better? Take responsibility for yourselves and make everybody else around you take responsibility for themselves too. That's the only way you move forward. Otherwise, you just remain static. You remain in the same place until we're over. That's how it is. Anyway, signing off for now. Now I've got to save this and post it. Alright? You take care, guys. And don't think I'm some kind of monster because I look a bit weird. Alright? That's me trying to grow a moustache for my girlfriend. It's nothing weird about that. Alright? I might have to shave it off because it does look a bit weird. It even looks a bit weird to me. But we won't talk about that any further. Anyway, you have a good day. You think and you talk to each other properly. You don't listen to left-wing propaganda. You don't listen to right-wing propaganda. You don't think, oh, I've heard this, that's enough. It's not. You have to change things now. You have to change you. You have to change everybody. And if you don't, we are all over, okay? That is what you have to see.